Let us learn about tuple functions and methods. The number of methods in tuples are very less. Why? Because tuples are immutable data types, so you cannot add any element. So append, extend, insert, remove, pop, all these things are not possible. Same way sort is not possible, reverse is not possible, because you cannot change any element inside a tuple separately. So all those functions which are present in the list will not work for a tuple. So the functions that are given in our syllabus are len, which is the same as a list. This will return the length of a tuple. Then tuple of, I already showed you, it will convert a sequence to a tuple. Then count will count the occurrence of the occurrence of a given element. How many elements? Suppose you want to count how many A is present in the tuple, it will count and give you the number. Same way, index will find out the first occurrence of the given element. Suppose that element is not found, index function will give an error. Whereas in count, if the element is not found, it will return 0. Sorted will arrange the copy of an elements in the tuple and return the answer in the form of a list. That is very, very important. Sorted will not disturb the tuple. It will create a copy of it, sort the elements in a list and give the answer in the form of a list. Then minimum and maximum functions will check the minimum and maximum value among a tuple, and it will work only for the same data type, which means all the numbers, all the values should be either numbers or it should be strings. You cannot have a mix of them. Same way, sum will find the sum of all the numbers in the tuple. It will not work for strings and nested lists. Okay. So I'll show you how index and count works for tuples. So you have T as 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10 again. Now T dot count of 10 will return 3 because there are 3 tens present in the tuple. Then index number T dot index of 10 will return that 10 is present in the first index, so returns 0. The same T dot index, if I try to find the index number of number 100, it won't be there, so it returns an error. So these are two important functions which we will often use in a tuple. Then we have sorted. I will show you how sorted returns. See, T is something like this. If you want to sort this, give T1 is equal to sorted of T. Okay. So T will remain the same thing which we created, but T1 will be a list with the sorted values. See, did you notice? T1 becomes a list. It has the sorted values. If you want to sort it in descending order, again you can give the option as reverse equal to true. Okay. The same T1 you will be in the form of a descending order, but the output is in the form of a list. Okay. Then maximum value of T1, minimum value of T1, that is all the same like lists. Okay, maximum, minimum and all, right? So let's work one or two programs in tuples. Write a program to input a tuple, display the index numbers of the maximum and minimum value. So we will ask the user to type. In that case, remember you should use eval. Enter a tuple with numbers. Okay, then we will store min value, min v is equal to min of t, maximum value is equal to max of t. But the question said you have to find the index number of that. So you have to search for that. How do you find the index number? T dot index number of the minimum value. Then T dot index number of the maximum value. So don't simply give this, you need to print it. So print index of minimum value. Same way, index of maximum value. You can replace the same thing. Right? So let's check how it works. Now it asks us to enter a tuple. I will give some values and press enter. It says index number of the minimum value is 54, yeah, 2. Yeah, 12 is the minimum value. Maximum value is, index number is 4. Okay. So this is the first simple program. The next one is write a program to input two tuples and create a new tuple with the sum of elements in them. So let us work this out. Let us have two tuples entered by the user. Eval of input of enter tuple 1. Then ask the user to enter tuple 2. Then create a new tuple. So first create a tuple T3. Now for every element in T1, now you need the index numbers, right? So for I in range of len of T1, T3 equal to T3 plus equal to T1 of I plus T2 of I. So what am I trying to do here? I will take, say for example, for I in range of 10, first value will be 0. So T1 of 0, T2 of 0 will pick the first values of T1 and T2 and assign it to T3. Now remember, when you sum up the numbers given in that, it will be an integer. You cannot add a tuple and an integer which will cause an error. So put it in a bracket. Remember, for single element tuple, you need to give a comma. So when you do this, then the tuple will be automatically created. Now let's print the third tuple, which was formed based on the condition. Tuple 1 is this 4, 2, 1. Tuple 2 is 5, 12, 89. So third tuple is the sum of the elements of tuple 1 and tuple 2. Okay. The third program is to input a tuple having product name, price for 10 products in this form. Pen 45, pouch 200 and so on. Print the name of the product with the maximum price. So first you should ask the user to input the tuple for 10 elements. So first we will have to create a tuple. For I in range of 10, because it's difficult for me to type everything now, I'll give for 3 elements, right? Ask the user to input the product name. So product name Pn is equal to input product name. Ask the user to type the product name. Then price, int of input of price. So once the user does that, we are going to pack it and put it inside the tuple. Okay. T is equal to Pn, Pr, and this has to be added to that tuple T. Now T is also a tuple, T1 is also a tuple, so you can give plus equal to, it will work very well. Now I'll print and show you how it works. Okay, first I'm just creating, I'm not finding any maximum value. I'm giving some product name and price, product name, price, product name, price. So, okay, I didn't create a tuple of it. I'll have to give this so that it becomes a nested tuple. This is very, very important. Right. Yeah. Now the required tuple is created. Now the question is, whichever is the maximum cost, maximum price, that name has to be found out. So let me assume the maximum price MP as 0. And once the user types the price here, if that price is greater than my price which I typed here, I will assign the product name as the user's one. Okay, so if the user is going to type some bigger value, I will store that name. Okay, otherwise we will proceed as such. Fine. Now after I create this, I'm going to print the product with maximum price as P name. So as and when the user types, I will check if it is more than my maximum price and assign the name. Okay. And before that, I will assign some product name as an empty string. Yeah. So now it says the product name with the maximum price 789 is this one. Okay. So this is how you need to work with a tuple. Working in a tuple and a list is almost the same, except that you cannot make any changes inside the value of a tuple. Thank you.